Hello, and thanks for tuning in. As always, this is Reverend JR, and today we're going to take a look at a news story. It was a couple weeks ago. I just watched Leonard French's video on it today on the actual legal side of it, and his opinion therein. But today I thought I'd give my few cents on it as well, and then we'll also talk about an email that the YouTube Creators newsletter sent out about how you can be in charge of your YouTube career. Appeals court reverses judge's dismissal of lawsuit challenging elective Bible in the Schools program. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with this, the Bible in the Schools is a program from a county in Virginia where they would teach the Bible in school every day. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals has unanimously reversed a judge's dismissal of a lawsuit challenging a now-suspended Bible in the Schools program in West Virginia, stating that if an injunction had been issued, it would have assuaged a student and her atheist mother, and it's not actually atheist if you look at the report, it's agnostic, but that's not relevant here, I guess. The christiannews.net is where I'm actually pulling this article from. Who sent the girl to another school district to avoid state-sponsored religious instruction, which is correct. The lady was required, effectively, to move her daughter to another school so her daughter wouldn't be locked in a closet while the rest of the students learned about the Bible on tax-funded school time, like taxes that you and I pay. Taxes are here to support everyone, even those who do not pay into them. If the district court were to enjoin the county from offering the BITS program to students in the future, Deal would no longer feel compelled to send Jessica to a neighboring school district to avoid what Deal views as a state-sponsored religious instruction, wrote Judge Diana Gribbin-Motz, nominated to the bench by then-President Bill Clinton, as though that makes any difference. This lady is doing her job and enforcing the law. And the christiannews.net seems to have an issue with that. Moreover, an injunction would also alleviate appellants' ongoing feelings of marginalization, she stated. Which again is true. If the government has a program that is violating the establishment cause and marginalizing people who don't believe in one specific religion, and it's being funded by the government, then yes, that marginalizes literally everyone else who doesn't believe whatever they're teaching. Gribbin-Motz was joined in her opinion by Judge A. Marvin Quattlebaum Jr. That's one heck of a name. Nominated to the bench by Donald Trump, and Allison Duncan, nominated to the bench by then-President George W. Bush. Again, it doesn't matter, they're judges. I don't care who appointed them. They have a job to do. As previously reported, Mercer County Schools had offered weekly Bible classes to elementary and middle school students for over 75 years.
That's how Mafia works?
Nearly 80 years, that's correct. That is, until last year when it decided to suspend its Bible in the Schools program. Well, it didn't really decide to. It did it in response to the lawsuit being filed to avoid the lawsuit being filed, in an underhanded attempt to bring the program back a year later after the student left, because that's the kind of people we're dealing with. After being sued by the Wisconsin-based FFRF, whom you guys may be familiar with, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, the atheist-led organization, well, no, it's not atheist per se, it's, as it says, freedom from religion. We don't have to be bound by any specific one. Initially filed a complaint behalf. This writing is stellar. Of an atheist parent. Again, she's agnostic, not atheist. And Leonard French also has a very interesting video on defamation per se versus defamation per quad, which you may wish to read or watch, as it were. Only identified as Jane Doe. Right, because the person shouldn't matter when we're talking about law. Except to preserve that person's right, even if done so anonymously. Whose daughter was in kindergarten at the time. That's right. A school locks a kindergartner in a closet.
It's Christian Channel. Christian Channel.
And the ChristianNews.net wants you to think that the mother of that daughter is the bad person.
Oopsie!
Just based on their tone and everything. The woman expressed concern that because most students chose to attend the elective Bible classes, her daughter could be ostracized by others if she decided not to join the program, which is actually what happened. Some of the other students, one of them in particular, said that you and your mom are going to go to hell if you don't believe in the Bible. And remember, the county is sponsoring the opinion that child is giving.
That's how Mafia works?
So yes, that is a form of ostracization. When you feel that you need to move your child to a different district because the county you're living in is actively working against you by locking your child in a closet. She stated that her only choices were to expose her daughter to Christianity against her will, or risk having her daughter looked down upon by others, which again, as the complaint and lawsuit states, did happen. And the county has a program instructing others in a specific denomination of the Christian religion, instructing people to be evangelical like that. Jamie will either be forced to attend Bible indoctrination classes against the wishes and conscience of Jane Doe, or Jamie will be the only, or one of only, a few children who do not participate. Jamie will therefore be made conspicuous by absence, and essentially be identified as non-Christian or non-believer, subjecting Jamie to the risk of ostracism from peers and even school staff, the suit claimed. Which is true. They had to move to another school. The FFRF later amended its complaint, adding Elizabeth Deal and her daughter Jessica to the legal challenge. As well they should if they were involved in this particular thing. Deal stated that she moved her daughter out of the school system because other students were allegedly taunting her for opting out of the weekly class that shouldn't have been provided by the government in the first place, and instead being sent to the library or computer lab, or a literal closet, which they conveniently left out here. I wonder what would happen if we had a school where most people weren't Christian, and one child was Christian and didn't want to be in the Quran study, or the humanist study, and we just locked that child in a closet. Or maybe they're Jewish, and they're the only one, and they don't want to be involved in the pantheist study that the government pays for. And we lock the Jewish child in the closet. Do you suppose this article would be written with the same tone? I don't think so. In November 2017, U.S. District Judge David Faber dismissed the lawsuit, and if you watch Leonard French's video that I mentioned, you'll see that was a mistake on his part, because now he has to go back and rewrite the opinion, explaining why he was wrong, and why the plaintiffs are actually within their standing to continue. Stating that because Mercer County Board of Education voted to suspend its Bible in the schools course, there is currently no case. Which again, as Leonard French points out, is completely untrue. And then they cite the original. This court finds it too speculative whether the problem the plaintiffs present will ever need solving. 75 years. We find the legal issues the plaintiffs raise not fit for our consideration. And that's where the judge done goofed. And the hardship to the plaintiffs of biding their time insubstantial. I wonder if that judge ever had his child locked in a closet for him not wanting the child to attend a particular class. However, Deal and her daughter appealed, while attorneys for the school district argued that the complainants lacked standing because the girl has not returned to the school system in the year since the Bible classes were suspended. Right, the lower court goofed up. And then they go on and state more and more and more. On Monday, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals unanimously sided with Deal and the FFRF and the government and the law and overturned Faber's dismissal of the case. No, they actually didn't. They reversed and remanded it. They did not overturn it. They're sending it back again. They didn't say that they were overturning the decision. They said they were sending it back for the lower court to rewrite so that it actually follows the letter of the law in its procedure.
As a matter of law.
Which is a fair distinction to be made. In addition to opining that an injunction would rectify Deal's concerns, the court said it wasn't convinced that the Bible classes wouldn't be resurrected. A valid concern. Because as the court case states, the county's fighting to get it back. In sum, the county has not carried its burden of showing that subsequent events make it absolutely clear that the suspended version of the BITS program will not return in identical or materially indistinguishable form. Appellant's current claims are therefore not moot. Correct. It doesn't matter if she's going back to the school or not, because other students in the future may be subjected to this course if it returns, and that's the point. Or a course that is very similar to it. FFRF cheered the outcome, remarking in a statement, "We hope the school district will finally put an end to these indoctrinating Bible classes, as they should have 75 years ago, and to any attempts to bring them back. No family should suffer the way this family did, just because it was unwilling to have religion forced upon it in a public school system." And then we have the single most biased paragraph in the entire article. As previously reported, in 1828, just 41 years after the signing of the U.S. Constitution, Noah Webster, known as the father of American scholarship and education, nobody cares. Public schools are here to serve the public, not a particular worldview. But anyway, he wrote, in his view, the Christian religion is the most important and one of the first things in which all children under free government ought to be instructed. Right, he didn't say in the view of the law. He said in his view. Which is fine. He can do that. But he can't use tax money to instruct those children in the ways of the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita, or any other religious text. Apart from teaching about all of them together and not endorsing a single one. No truth is more evident to my mind that the Christian religion must be the basis of any government intended to secure the rights and privileges of a free people. Like the part of the Bible where there are slaves. But anyway, that's the end of that specific article there. I think you get the idea, the gist of it. And then we'll take a look at the first Creator Monthly newsletter of 2019. It's here. From YouTube. Says, "Hey, Reverend JR, 2019 is officially upon us. Huzzah!" Because we really needed to start with more cringe, didn't we? But instead of getting all New Year, New Me on you, we wanted to take a minute to thank you for being a part of the amazing creator community. Even though you won't promote my videos unless I monetize them, and you won't let me monetize them until I have 1,000 viewers, which means you're never going to actually make me part of the community. I'm just a person who posts videos on your website that you let other people monetize if I happen to use their music or something. But you won't let me monetize because it's not necessarily popular enough or creator-friendly or advertiser-friendly enough. But you know, thanks for being part of the community. And look back at all that we built together this past year. You mean that the creators have done for you and that you've stricken down. 2018 focused on keeping you more connected than ever to your fans, to the goings-on at YouTube, and to the cool new ways to create and grow. As long as you don't do things like Sargon, or Mumkey, or anything that might offend the YouTube overlords. Or the Patreon overlords. Let's take a look at what's new from 2018 and keep the energy going in 2019. So we can build deeper connections. There are more ways than ever to engage with your viewers and get your voice heard. As long as that voice doesn't get you kicked off of YouTube. Turn your video launches into real-time events with premieres, which are f***ing dumb. Or give viewers a behind-the-scenes look with stories. This isn't Instagram. I don't need to see them. I want to see my actual subscriptions, YouTube. The things I'm subscribed to. When I go through my recommended feed, and more than half of the videos are not even people I follow, and the majority of them are not new videos in my subscription feed, then your recommended is not working. I am subscribed to nearly 500 channels. You take some of those subscriptions away, you resub me to ones that I have gone away from and don't want to subscribe to anymore. And then you don't even show me all the subscriptions, YouTube. But now you've got this stupid thing that'll show me stories from people that I don't even follow before it shows me actual videos. It's frustrating. Use your voice for good, because if you say anything YouTube doesn't like, you'll be gone. And they will community strike you until you disappear, because they have no scruples. Succeed on your own terms, except if they violate anything that YouTube might think is slightly edgy. Stay in the know, except if it's about actual things you're subscribed to. Hashtag Creator Spotlight. And it tells us about, why do I care, YouTube? And not to be callous. Shane and Hannah decided to start a channel about something most people are curious about, their relationship. I'm not. I am not a romantic relationship kind of person. They're a couple, and Shane has a severe muscle disease called SMA, and Hannah doesn't. So basically, we're interested to see the relationship where one guy has basically the same disease as Ricky Berwick, and the classically attractive girl doesn't. Wonder why Ricky Berwick doesn't get in the creator spotlight, and the relationship he has with creators like Bunty King, or others. Oh, that's right, they're edgelords, and YouTube can't stand that, because they want us to do things on our own terms, but only if it's family-friendly bullshit. Anyway, those are my opinions. I know you enjoyed hearing them, so click that like. If you want to know how to get your name up here, check out my Patreon. Go ahead and share this video, because YouTube won't. And, don't lock your children in closets just because they don't want to learn about the Bible. As always, this has been Reverend JR, signing off.